Following 2 consecutive wins against playoff contending teams, the Wizards were in desperate need of victories over divisional foes Boston and New York, as Washington hoped to keep their playoff hopes alive. However, 24 points from Paul Pierce Friday night in Boston and 24 points and 13 assists from Stephon Marbury on Sunday helped contribute to Washington's downfall, as Eddie Jordan's crew failed to win 3 in a row for the 6th time this season. Can the Wizards start a new streak tonight against hard-charging rookie phenom Carmelo Anthony and the upstart Denver Nuggets? It's coming up on Comcast Sportsnet next. Comcast Sportsnet is on the air with Wizards basketball. Tonight live from the MCI Center in Washington, D.C. It's the Washington Wizards and the Denver Nuggets. Wizards try to bounce back from consecutive losses to the Celtics and Knicks, as Gilbert Arenas has been on fire, averaging over 30 points a game the last 5 times out. Tonight facing one of the many spectacular players to come out of Charm City, Carmelo Anthony, and the 33-31 Denver Nuggets. Hi, folks. Great to be with you tonight for Wizards Hoops here on Comcast Sportsnet. Steve Buckhantz with Phil Chenier. Wizards are 20-41. The 2 losses hurt, but certainly a bright spot would be in the backcourt. And against the Knicks, Juan Dixon and Gilbert Arenas were shining stars.
Well, we'll start off with Gilbert Arenas, who led all scorers in that game with 28 points. You know, he's been one of the hottest players in the league. In fact, in the month of March, leads all scorers with an average of over 30 points a game. He's been particularly hot from three-point range, where he's shooting better than 50%. But his backcourt partner, Juan Dixon, also answering the call. He's averaged over 21 points in his last 2 games, having 25 points in that game against the Knicks. I talked about both players shooting the ball well. They both shot over 50%. Combined for 53 points, even made 6 of 9 three-pointers. But again, they've got to get both good inside play as well as outside play.
So the backcourt was stellar, but the front court left little to boast about, getting out-rebounded, outshot, and outscored.
Yeah, this team has been going up and down, and that's how their front court has been going, particularly the starters. If you look at their numbers against the Knicks, you can see they got outpointed by 19 points. Look at the shooting for the starters for the Knicks inside. 15 for 25, that's 60%. Washington only 38%, even out-rebounded by 7. Boy, I tell you what, they just got to get better and more consistent play inside.
Well, despite a winning record, the Denver Nuggets have struggled lately. They've lost 8 of 9, including their last 3. Still a huge turnaround from last season, and without question, Carmelo Anthony has made the big difference.
You're talking about a team that's 1 game away from doubling their full total of wins, 17 last year. And, of course, Carmelo Anthony leads the way for this team, averages over 20 points, 6.2 rebounds, and almost 3 assists. He's an exciting player that can go inside or out.
Nuggets display a nice-looking roster that includes second-year Brazilian star Nene, averaging over 11 points a game, while Kwame Brown must step up and be a factor inside tonight for Washington. Wizards try to avenge a 21-point earlier season loss in Denver, and we've got it covered for you coming up from the MCI Center. Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball brought to you tonight by Volvo and your Baltimore, Washington Volvo retailers. Come in for a test drive today. Papa John's, call now for your Wizards Pizza Special. 3-topping large pizza for just $9.99. The all-new Ford F-150 at your local Ford dealer. Force 3, where networks are people. Isuzu, spend less, go farther, with a full line of value-priced SUVs from Isuzu. And by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Rookie Jarvis Hayes getting valuable playing time. Makes his 39th start of the season tonight. But which rookie will shine in this evening's game? Starters and tip-off between the Wizards and Nuggets. Next, from Washington. MCI Center, Washington, D.C., where the Wizards have won 14 games and lost 18. Overall, the Wizards 20-41. This time last year, they had a record of 30-31. Time now for our Smoking Stops Here community calendar. For more information on events happening in your community, log on to smokingstopshere.com. All right, time to take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineups. First for the visiting Denver Nuggets with a record of 33 wins, 31 losses. That's sixth in the Midwest, 11.5 games back of the first-place T-Wolves. The Nuggets are 22-12 at home, 11-19 on the road. Andre Miller, Vashawn Leonard get the start in the backcourt. Against the Wizards back on November 21st in Denver, they combined for 34 points, 14 assists, and just 2 turnovers in a 108-87 win. And in the front court, it's the rookie phenom Carmelo Anthony from Baltimore, along with Marcus Camby and Nene. Camby averaging over 10 rebounds per game. That is 8th in the NBA. The head coach in his second season with Denver is Jeff Bzdelik, who scouted the Nuggets for 2 years, was a former assistant coach, of course, with the Bullets from 1988 to 1994. Your Washington Wizards are 20-41. That's 6th place in the Atlantic Division, 17.5 games back of the first-place Nets. Washington 14-18 here at home, 6-23 on the road. Gilbert Arenas and Juan Dixon in the backcourt. Juan making his 13th start, averaging about 9.5 points per game. Arenas has been so productive over the last 5 games, averaging 30.2 points per game and 5.8 assists. In the front court for Washington, the rookie from Georgia, Jarvis Hayes, with Brendan Haywood and Kwame Brown. Haywood needing 2 rebounds for 1,000 in his career. Of course, he got his 1,000th point of his career on January 13th against Houston here at the MCI Center. The head coach in his first season in Washington, after 4 as an assistant coach in New Jersey, is Washington, D.C.'s own Eddie Jordan. Record of 20-41 with the team, 53-105 overall. He's assisted by Mike O'Koren, Phil Hubbard, Tom Young, and the Wizards trainer Steve Stricker. All right, let's take a look at the Jim Coleman keys to tonight's game. Phil?
Denver's a team that wants an up-tempo, fast-paced game. They're number 1 in fast break points, averaging over 20 a game. They force turnovers, and they're 3rd in the league in steals, and that is augmented by their ability to give up the basketball. They're 11th in the league in assists. They had a season-high 38 assists on November 11th against Washington in Denver, and they're 6th in points per game. And for the Wizards, that means they have to be concerned about steals, turnovers, and points, and that's points allowed. Both teams are high in the steals, but Washington's number 1 in the turnover department, and opponents average a league-high 15.8 fast break points. We just told you how good Denver is on fast break points. So that means Washington has to get back on defense. To help that, they want to have good floor balance, be patient on their offense, hit the offensive boards, and make sure once they lose possession to get all 5 players back.
The officials for tonight's game are James Capers with Benny Adams and the veteran Dick Bavetta in his 29th season. Second and final meeting between the Wizards and the Nuggets. Denver winning the first game November 21st, 108-87 in Denver. Last season, they split a pair. Washington won the first 89-74 here in D.C. Denver taking the second game 88-72 at the Pepsi Center. Juan Dixon, Gilbert Arenas played well against the Knicks, but as you mentioned earlier, the front court failed to do the job against New York. And you looked at a New York roster of guys like Allen Houston, Stephon Marbury, Penny Hardaway, Tim Thomas, and then Michael Sweetney coming in and having his best game on the boards. The Wizards just couldn't match up with him.
You got to be hungry out there. You got to, make sure you get rebounds and get stops down low, and that just wasn't happening.
Steve Buckhatz, Phil Chenier, we're underway here in Washington. Juan Dixon goes all the way and lays it in.
Good first move from Juan Dixon. Vashawn Leonard, for some reason, really overplaying Juan and made it easy for Juan to just blow by him.
Nuggets are 33-31. They lost to the Pacers Sunday, their 3rd loss in a row, to Detroit and New Jersey as well. They've lost 8 of their last 9. Their only win coming against the Knicks February 29th in New York. Still, they have a 33-31 record. Last year, they won just 17 games and tied Cleveland for the worst record in the NBA.
But oh, what a difference a year makes, especially when you get a player like Carmelo Anthony, of course, and we're not giving all the credit to him. They signed Andre Miller. They've got Marcus Camby back healthy. Nene is having a terrific season. So, I mean, it's all starting to come together.
You look at their roster, Phil, and there are some nice names on it. Vashawn Leonard averages over 15 points a game. Earl Boykins, who's done some damage to the Wizards. John Barry, the great three-point shooter. Nick Skidishvili, Camby, as you mentioned. Miller, Hilario.
You talk about John Barry. He's another one that has hurt us over the years, whether it's
all
Sacramento,
of those Barrys.
Detroit.
Are you kidding me?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, they are brutal. Rick's
they're
the
nice
only
to
one that
us,
hasn't hurt
but
them.
they're pretty.
Yeah, they're very nice to us. John is a terrific guy. We enjoyed talking to him prior to games. Big golfer, lives down in the Atlanta area. Wizards lead 2-0. Here's Miller baseline now for Anthony's first shot of the game, and he misses.
Pace of the game is something to keep an eye on.
Kwame inside, gets fouled. He'll shoot two. Let's see if they give him two shots or was it on his way down. Dick Bavetta will come out with the call, and they will give him two.
Oh, that was Brendan Haywood's trying to figure out the area. You see him going down, and he just covers up. He knows that guys are going for balls that might come down on him. What game was that we saw recently where someone came down on, oh, that's right, on Vince Carter, remember?
Right.
Somebody stepped on his arm, and he fell on the floor. And
you know, before the game, I saw Larry Hughes out here practicing shots. He has had the hard cast removed from his wrist, now wears a soft cast. And I watched him from the top of the key with that soft cast on his arm, hit about 3 3-pointers in a row. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy's so good he can shoot with a cast on. And hopefully when he's able to remove everything and get back to playing, which could be in a few weeks, he'll help this team. He came out and said, I plan to play as many games as I can.
I think that's the right attitude. The good thing about it is obviously it's his off shooting hand. He's a righty, and it's the left wrist that was broken.
Well, Kwame's struggles at the free throw line continue. You documented that the last game that we had, which was against Boston. The last 5 games.
Well, coming into this game, the last 7 games, he was 12 for 27, which is 44%. He missed these last 2. What does that make? 12 for what? 29 now. Huh?
Yeah, that's boy, what a turnaround that is for him.
He's been shooting the ball so well.
Yeah. Percentage slipping to 71 overall, but had been a much more consistent free throw shooter.
Back door.
And the Wizards can't handle it. They turn it over. Washington is last in the league in turnovers, averaging 17.4 per game. That is their highest average of the season.
And not to call for turnovers, but if you've got to get a turnover, that's the place to get the turnovers. Commit turnovers out here in the middle of the court. This team will kill you because they lead the league in fast break points. That their whole concept of playing is to get the ball out and run and get the first shot possible.
Not only do they lead the league in fast break points, Anthony misses. Ball tipped around and comes out to Denver. Nene, used to be known as Nene Hilario. But Carmelo Anthony leads the league in assists, or rather in fast break points.
Individually, that's right. And you know who's took second? LeBron James.
That's amazing.
It's these young legs. That's what it is.
Must be.
Convinced.
Gilbert Arenas looking for the bump, gets the field goal off the glass. Gilbert now averaging 19.4 points per game, but in the last 5, averaging 30.2. Kwame Brown looked like he might have turned an ankle. Anthony gets it back. And they've got a new 24, so the Wizards had the rebound, couldn't get it. Jarvis Hayes inside for the rebound. Long jumper, no good. Nene pulls it down. He averages almost 7 rebounds a game. Miller, baseline, pushed out of bounds, and what's the call? Dick Bavetta, I believe, will call a foul on Gilbert Arenas. Dick Bavetta, at 64 years old, the second oldest active official in the league. Jack Neese is 65, and this will be Dick's final season.
Been around since, well, when I was playing. So.
Yeah. There is no mandatory retirement age for officials, but you talk about a career for this guy throughout the course of the game. We'll point out some interesting facts about Dick Bavetta, including the fact that he runs 8 miles a day, weather permitting, to stay in shape. Camby slips. Anthony in and out. Haywood is there, bothered by Nene, but still gets the rebound.
Good box out for Brendan.
Tied at 4. Wizards will be in Orlando tomorrow night, Atlanta Friday night, and then come back to play Boston here at the MCI Center Saturday evening. They go to Kwame against Nene. Kicks it out, and an offensive foul is called by James Capers on Kwame Brown.
Well, again, I think having better recognition of where all the defenders are. You see Andre Miller coming in, and that kind of threw his timing off and forced him to kind of stutter step. He could have been called for traveling. That's what I thought the initial whistle was.
It's pretty good scouting, because that is the move Kwame likes to make when he goes down low, and they helped with the double team, and it bothered him, obviously. Wizards are 11th overall in the league in rebounding. Denver's 15th. Jarvis Hayes slips. Boy, it's slick down there. Inside to Haywood. Jump hook. Good.
Well, I'm glad Gilbert brought his hand back down and didn't mess with that ball.
Brendan averaging over 7 points a game and about 5 rebounds.
Good rotation defensively this time.
And Arenas gets the steal, and Gilbert should have an easy 2. Wizards are still number 1 in the league in steals per game at 9.3. But when you look at that list, there's really nobody on the team that's in the top 15 in steals. It's a collective effort.
I will say this, though, if you look at and chart based on a 48-minute game, Juan Dixon is right up there at the top.
Anthony goes baseline, lost the dribble, puts it up and misses. Gets his rebound and draws a foul. Well, that's the kind of thing that hurt the Wizards against the Knicks.
Well, this is something that Carmelo's getting a good reputation around the league for, getting second chance points. He's so quick at reacting to the ball. He's long, but yet strong, won't get pushed out of his position. And there's the steal on the last possession by Gilbert Arenas, and again, the explosive finish.
Carmelo makes the free throw. He's a 76% shooter, and he's approaching 400 on the season. That was his 397th attempt.
Yeah,
he's made 303.
And that's a good sign, a guy that can get to the free throw line. I mean, you look around the league, and most of the guys that are scoring big numbers getting a certain percentage of their numbers off the free throw line.
Just 1 point for Melo, who is 0 for 5 from the field. Kwame hit from behind, 8 to shoot. Bad pass. Haywood takes it away, goes inside, and gets hit while he goes up and draws a foul.
Tell you what, pretty good move, because he had to do some maneuvering in traffic. The shot clock was winding down to about 3 or 4 seconds. And you can see on several attempts, Denver going for steals and nearly coming up with them. We talked about Washington being the #1 team in steals. This team is 3rd in steals.
They average 9.3. The Wizards as a team are 27th in the league in free throw shooting. Only the Lakers and the Spurs are less productive from the line, and Brendan Haywood now has 1,000 career rebounds. He needed 2 to reach that mark, and he has 2 in this game. Congratulations.
Yep. Going back to that shooting number that you just gave, that's something that I hope all these guys plan on really working on, and that is just their shooting game, both from the free throw line and just hitting open shots, because they're also in the bottom 5 or 6 in field goal percentage. So they want to get that number up, feel comfortable when you get open shots to be able to put them down.
It's the kind of thing, though, that hurts. Andre Miller getting a rebound inside off the air ball, and they wind up with points out of it. Dixon on the fadeaway. Tough shot, and he scores. Juan Dixon averaging 9.4 points a game. This is his 60th game of the season, and he's 2 for 2 tonight. Offensive foul on Anthony. A lot of contact with Jarvis Hayes, but they whistled it on the rookie using the elbow. 5:33 to go in the quarter. Wizards ball when we come back with a lead. Our Toyota League leaders, you and I talked about the fast break points. And Carmelo Anthony leading the league in that category. Not just rookies, the whole league.
Well, this team leads the league in fast break points. But LeBron James right behind him. You're talking about two guys explosive with the young legs. And they're out to prove a point. Both felt they got slighted not being on the All-Star team. Look at their rankings. First and second. 8th and 9th in field goal percentage, but then rebounds and assists, they're up there. And that these two guys can do it all on the court.
Yeah, they're great players, and they will be around for many years to come. And while certainly they probably were slighted in not making the All-Star game, they're going to be in that that game.
Yeah, they're going to have plenty.
Yeah, a lot. Gilbert Arenas jumper in and out, no good. Camby is there for the rebound. Marcus Camby playing in his 57th game. The most he's played in were 63, 3 separate years, but normally he's banged up and not able to get a lot out of him, but this year they have.
Tell you what, he has really added a very strong defensive presence for this team from the center position. He's one of the top centers in rebounds, blocks, shots, steals, a lot of the defensive categories.
Dixon, double pumped.
What a shot
that was. He had Miller draped on his back, somebody to shoot over, and Juan is 3 for 3 with 6 points.
Yeah, not a lot of room for error on that shot.
I guess not. Juan's season high, his career high, 30 points against Portland. Great defense. Wizards wanted to travel.
Good job by Brendan just to stay down, not go for the fake. And Nene was really off balance.
Inside to Kwame. Nice shot. Good look from Arenas.
I'd really like to see him go towards the basket. I mean,
he usually does. He usually does.
Yeah, you're right. I'm being overly critical now.
Wizards have their largest lead of 6 points. And a foul called once again by Mr. Bavetta, who is working his 2008th game of his career. That's amazing.
Well, you combine that with the number of miles you said he runs a day, and I mean, this guy's running around the world.
8 miles a day, weather permitting. Also wears 5 pairs of socks when he's officiating to help support his feet. He says that the younger officials make fun of him. But at the same time, after the game, they're using ice packs and hydroculators, and he's dressed and waiting for them.
Steve, that's old school. We used to wear 2 and 3 pairs of socks when we played, too, to cut down on the blisters.
Sure.
I bet you haven't run 8 miles in your whole life. I mean, I'm just making a point.
Well, yeah, thanks. Thanks so much for making that point. I did run a couple of miles the other day, and I wear 2 pairs of socks. I'm old school, too. Arenas with a miss. Wizards by 4. Don't you think most of these guys wear a couple of pairs or not?
I would think they would have to.
I'm looking at Carmelo Anthony. He definitely has 2 pairs of socks on. And he also has his first field goal of the night. He's 1 for 7.
What confuses me, now you see guys wearing these socks that are like ankle socks, and sometimes the shoe comes over it, and it looks like they don't have any socks on.
Right, like a golf sock.
Yeah.
Juan Dixon has to take a long jumper. That's way off, and Miller's there. Wizards need to look for better shots. Leonard scores. Rashawn Leonard in his 9th year from Minnesota. He averages over 15 points a game.
Remember, one of our keys is Washington's defensive transition, getting back on defense and matching up, not allowing open shots and certainly not allowing fast break layups.
Dixon is double teamed, hit, and fouled. Charge to Rashawn Leonard. Denver on a 6-0 run in the last minute 10 to tie the game at 15. All right, here's our Passport BMW trivia question tonight. Carmelo Anthony, the second Denver Nugget to be named NBA Rookie of the Month. Who was the first? I'm guessing it's somebody that's not on the team any longer.
I got to read these questions very slowly. Is that for this year or at any point?
Well, it's got to be for this year, certainly, because Carmelo Anthony's a rookie.
I'm told it's all time.
Carmelo Anthony's second.
He's been Rookie of the Month all 4 years. I mean, all 4 months, so.
Okay. Well, then you've got me totally confused now. Thank you.
That was my plan.
Carmelo from Towson Catholic High School. Here's Kwame. laid it up, and he got fouled. And they called it on Francisco Elson, who's the other rookie on this team from your alma mater, California. So Kwame back to the free throw line where he is 0 for 2 tonight.
You don't see many numbers like that, 56.
No, you don't. Well, you remember years ago they wouldn't allow anything more than 55 because the officials, when they tried to signal the number, had to signal more than one hand and the other.
And
now they
told
do it all
by
the
our
time.
Producer Chris Grain that we saw somebody in Boston with the number 56. Who
we
was
did.
that?
I can't think of off the top of my head who it was, but yeah, I remember the number.
These ghosts are talking to me, right?
Ghosts?
Brandon Hunter?
Yeah, Brandon Hunter. That's who it was, exactly. Brandon Hunter. Wizards had a 12-point lead on the Celtics in that game, lost by 4. Of course, lost to the Knicks the other night, 99-86 here Sunday evening. Sunday afternoon, actually, 2 o'clock start. Here's Dixon for the long jumper, and he's a little short. Tied at 17, Steve Buckhantz and Phil Chenier, our Comcast Sportsnet crew. Statistician Paul Evans, stage manager Lori Green. Seven to shoot. Anthony around Hayes, lays it off inside. Short jump hook, in and out. Tip up no good. Anthony fights for the rebound. And they'll give it. Dick Pavetta says it was off blue, and it'll be Washington ball.
It's one of those plays that looked like a lot of contact coming from Vajon Leonard. Looked like Blake had the inside track on that ball.
I thought Jarvis Hayes fouled Carmelo Anthony when he went up and caused him to lose the ball. Steve Blake, Jared Jeffries, along with Dixon, Haywood, and Kwame for Washington. Tied at 17. Wizards have led by as many as 6. Into Kwame, nice pass, and he got fouled going up. Now, would you look at a situation like that and say, because you always hear coaches say, don't put the ball on the floor, just go right up. What would you say?
You know, people say that, and sometimes you have to just to get your bearings. See, that pass led him, and he was kind of awkward or in an awkward position coming down, so he had to get his balance. So you do have to put the ball down and then power up. That's what Kwame did. Really a nice lead lob pass coming from Juan Dixon.
Kwame now 3 of 5 from the line as Chris Anderson checks in. Kwame gets them both. Wizards by 2. Washington trying to snap the 2-game losing streak. Denver's lost 3 in a row. To the Pacers, Detroit, and New Jersey.
Well, Jared got Elson right on the elbow as he was releasing the shot. You do want to get a hand up to try and distract the shooter's concentration, but you don't want to bring that arm down on the elbow.
Last year, the Nuggets were 17-65. Right now, they've won 33 games. They won 13 at home, the fewest home victories of any team in the league. And they finished 43 games out of first place, which was an NBA high. Set a Denver franchise record for points allowed, just 92.4, but they also finished last in the league in scoring at just 84.2.
They certainly upped that this year.
Yeah. They're at almost 97 points a game now. In one game last year against Detroit, they could manage just 53 points, losing 74-53. Into Kwame, in the lane, fadeaway jumper, got it. Kwame has the last 8 points for Washington. Blake pushes it. Great pass to Kwame. No call. Haywood is there, and he scores.
That, too, a tough one to handle because he was on such a dead run. and actually ran a little bit past the basket, had to reach back and try and put it up. But fortunately, you had Brendan also running the floor, and he was able to get the putback. But that was a beautiful bounce pass from Steve Blake.
Well, he put it right where it had to be, enabling Kwame to handle that. Wizards by 4. Anthony, and he scores at the 24-second clock. Haywood was evidently inside the arc.
Well inside that arc, yeah.
6 seconds. Wizards can take a shot here to end the quarter, but the shot by Blake is blocked. Juan Dixon getting the start tonight, and productive play for Juan. 3 of 5 from the field, 6 points. Wizards led by as many as 6. And after 1 in Washington, it's the good guys 23 and the Nuggets 21. Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball brought to you tonight by the Easterns Automotive Group, where your job is your credit. By Subway, eat fresh. And by Passport BMW. Visit us online at passportauto.com. First quarter, the Wizards shoot over 47%, holding Denver to 36, and Washington outscoring Denver, Phil, 6-0 in fast break points. That's a little surprise considering the stats we talked about.
That's against the trend, but it's just the first quarter, but they've done a better job getting back and also rebounding. Early on, they gave up 5 offensive rebounds, but since then, they've not allowed any second chance points for the Nuggets. Also, Washington 0 for 5 from three-point range. So if you take away those 5 threes, they're 9 for 14 from the 2-point field goal. So that's a good percentage.
Todd Thomas starts the second quarter for Washington with Blake, Kwame, Jared Jeffries, and Juan. 4 seconds. Blake kicks it out for Thomas inside, and they're not going to get it off in time. 3-second violation as Wizards struggled to get a shot and couldn't do it.
Yeah, Atan pointing to himself. He didn't realize that shot clock when it was in his hands was about at 3 or 4, and he had a pretty good baseline shot there.
Yeah. Third turnover for the Wizards. Their first, however, in 9 minutes of play. Somebody got hit. Follow no good. Tip in is there by Anderson. Chris Anderson, in his 3rd year from Blinn Junior College, one of the top shot blockers in the league at 6'10". And the Nuggets have the lead 25-23. Timeout with 10:50 to go first half. We'll take a break. Back to Washington after this.
And the ball said, money doesn't equal greatness. Cribs don't equal greatness. Diamonds don't equal greatness. Fame doesn't equal greatness. Endorsements don't equal greatness. Winning doesn't equal greatness. Only greatness equals greatness. Only greatness equals greatness. Only greatness equals greatness.
Hey fans, Verizon Freedom for Business offers unlimited direct dial domestic calling for one low price and a chance to win tickets to see the Wizards face New Orleans on April 14th in a private suite. Log on to ComcastSportsNet.com for details from Verizon, Comcast Sportsnet, and WTEM. Western Conference standings, there is Denver at 33-31.
Yeah, unlike the Eastern Conference, you probably won't get in the playoff picture if you're under 500.
Forced pass from Blake. Turnover. Blocked by Kwame inside, and they take it away. Wizards very fortunate there. Blake is fouled by John Barry. Other guy that's in the game who we talked about has hurt the Wizards, and every time you look at him, you think it's a mistake that some kid ran in off the bench, and that's Earl Boykins, who's 5'5" tall. There's Earl.
There he is. You're right. I mean, he has such a young face. Here, Elson tries to go underneath. Kwame gets the first block. Atan strips it as he goes up, and you're right. After the turnover, they're not able to convert.
Jeffries misses the jumper. Here comes Denver leading for the second time tonight. They had a 4-2 lead earlier in the game. Carmelo pulls up and hits. Carmelo now 3 of 11. Turned 19 years old this past May 29th. Jarvis Hayes off the Wizards bench as Washington now down by 4. Blake's jumper good. Boykins, air ball, Wizards ball. Jarvis Hayes into the Washington lineup, and he'll replace Jared Jeffries. Last time these two teams played, Carmelo Anthony went 10 of 18, had 23 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and a block.
Pretty good night's work.
Not bad. That was in a 21-point Denver victory.
He got fouled. Boykins got him on the wrist. That's why that shot came up so short.
Not called by James Capers. Anthony's fadeaway. No good. Loose ball foul on Denver. Charged it for Francisco Elson. There's Jeff Bezdelic, assistant coach with the Bullets, 88 to 94, 7 seasons. And he was at UMBC prior to that in 1986 and 87.
Boy, what a job he's done with that team in the 2 years.
Getting our first look now at Rodney White in his 3rd year from Charlotte. Another guy with some local ties. He went to 5 high schools, including Newport Prep in Maryland. From Philadelphia. Blake off a screen, sets, fires, and swishes it through.
Good job. Ran behind a double pick. Ooh.
How about that?
He's quick.
I guess so. 5'5", 133 pounds.
Does a good job for this team coming off the bench.
Arenas jumper, got it. 6 points for Gil Arenas in his 3rd year from Arizona.
Ooh, whoa. Very close to turning that ball over.
They let a lot more of that go now than they did years ago, because it's become so fashionable to
the hesitation.
The hesitation to nearly carry, just ball handling in general. Kwame against Anderson. Good defense by Anderson. 22nd in the league in shot blocking. Fouled by Kwame, and he'll shoot 2.
Well, you talk about, you mentioned Anderson, 22nd in the league in shot blocking. He doesn't get a lot of time, but in terms of non-starters, he's #1 in that department in shot blocks. As one of our players, Etan Thomas, is 4th in that department.
Anderson, not much of a free throw shooter, 60%.
Well, he's one of those players that loves to get off on the break, finish. He can dunk just about any kind of way you want to. He's an exciting player. In fact, he had a terrific game down there back in November. All 3 of his shots had 11 points and 7 boards. 5 blocked shots in that game. So very good bench player coming off the bench for Jeff Bezdelic.
Lonnie Baxter is in the game for the Wizards. Earliest he's been in a lineup for Eddie Jordan in his 3rd game since the Wizards acquired him last week. Lonnie, strong move, can't get it to fall. And Etan Thomas pulls down a rebound, something the Wizards need desperately in this game. Arenas got fouled by Anderson. Let's see if they give him 3. I didn't see where his foot was.
Looks like they're signaling 2, just 2 shots. Well, that's the kind of shot blocker Anderson is. He won't give up on. Look how far he has to come out and try and attack this jump shooter. And a lot of coaches aren't crazy about that kind of foul at that point, fouling a jump shooter that far away from the basket.
As good a shooter as Gilbert is, and this always perplexes me, Phil. He's only 72% from the free throw line. I know there's a lot of guys that are outstanding shooters that just don't have a great percentage from the free throw line.
I'm trying to think. There was one player that played during my time, and I'm trying to remember who that was, but a great jump shooter, but then you get to the free throw line and couldn't convert.
Wasn't JoJo White, was it?
No, JoJo was.
John Barry left alone, and he misses. Blake had it knocked away. Wizards lose it out of bounds, and it'll be Denver ball. Hey, fans, get out west with Southwest Airlines. Log on to ComcastSportsNet.com for your chance to win a trip for two to Arizona to see the Wizards take on the Suns Monday, March 29th. Southwest Airlines, friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Denver has not committed a turnover this quarter. The Wizards have 3. They throw it away. Here it is. We called it.
Put that old Buckhands jinx on them.
I wish it only worked against the opposition. Sometimes we jinx our own team. Stoppage in play. Chance to give you another Dick Bavetta fact, Phil. And this, I like this one. You know where he went to high school?
No, I don't.
Power Memorial.
Oh, that's right.
In fact, he played basketball there. Of course, before Lou Alcindor, who became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, made it famous. Also played at St. Francis College.
In Pennsylvania?
In New York.
Oh, in New York. Okay. See them patching up Steve Blake, who had a little bit of a cut there.
And the Wizards will bring it in with 6:34 to go in the half. Washington on an 8-2 run in the last 3 minutes and 25 seconds, but lead by just 2. And the Wizards with another turnover. Number 6 in the half. Steve Blake called for holding Andre Miller. And Anthony and Leonard will check back in for Jeff Bezdelik's team.
Kind of feel for Steve Blake on that call, because like him, I was kind of light when guys would back me down. I mean, it took every bit of strength I had to try to keep them from backing me in.
Oh, strong move to the basket by Anthony. 9 points for the rookie and ties the game at 31. Arenas off a screen. Got it. 3-pointer for Gilbert, his 77th on the season. He shoots 38% from long range, and he's got 11 tonight.
Is that the first 3 of the game? I don't think anybody's made any threes. Came up with the steal there.
Nearly carried it, too, but he got the steal. Jarvis Hayes from the baseline, in and out. And a loose ball foul, and it'll be on Atan Thomas. His first personal. Timeout with 5:28 to go in the half. Wizards by 3. Denver ball when we come back to Washington. Here's a look at our Car Biz drive to the hoop. Carmelo Anthony exploding to the glass.
Well, he keeps his dribble alive. There's the crossover. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Forced 3-3-pointer from Gilbert Arenas' first 3 of the night, as you mentioned, Phil. And Arenas has had a part in all 11 Wizards points this quarter. He scored the last 7 for Washington, and he assisted on the other 2 field goals. Anthony, or rather can be inside with a slam.
Well, number one, when you go to double, I think you try and close down that passing lane. That was a pretty wide open passing lane. Plus the defense along the baseline has to rotate quicker.
Lonnie Baxter. 5 to shoot. Got it.
Boy, that was a pretty strong move. He had someone, I think that was Nene, leaning all over him. He's a pretty big guy himself.
Wizards by 3. 4.5 to go in the half. Seven to shoot. Anthony pulls the trigger from long range and rims it, but Miller is right there. That's the kind of stuff that'll kill you.
Andre Miller, not exceptionally big, but good size, but he's one of those guards that can do a little bit of everything, really. Of course, 1 year in Cleveland led the league in assists.
Wizards have been out rebounded by 5 as Arenas hits his second three-pointer of the game. Kwame Brown off the Wizards bench. Leonard left alone and he buries it. Team is 10th in the league in field goal shooting at 44%. Arenas short jumper, way short. Rebounded by Nene. Leonard again. Air ball right to Lonnie Baxter. Arenas, good move. He lays it up and follow slam, and Bavetta won't allow it.
Yeah, good call. Boy, that ball just hung up on the rim, would not fall in. It seemed like it was motionless. Just stayed right there on the rim. Watch this hesitation move and then crossover. What a beautiful move. It's coming out.
That's a great replay. I think it's...
Yeah, it shows you why that call was made. It was a good call.
Really good look at it. And on any part of the rim or in the cylinder, you can't touch it. Third personal foul on Gilbert Arenas. Now Steve Blake will come in for Arenas.
Well, Gilbert swears up and down that he got all ball.
Looked like it to me.
Coming down, he may have caught some of that elbow. It's hard to see on that one look.
Anthony again, 11 points. His career high 39 against Portland on February 2nd. He started 0 for 6. Since then, he's 5 for 9.
That was the day after LeBron James got his 38.
Blake missed it badly. And another rebound. 22-16, the rebounding margin in favor of Denver. Offensive foul. Good position by Kwame.
Did a good job of moving those feet. And you talk about a guy that has quick feet for a 7-footer. It's Kwame. Watch him seal off that baseline, get the good position.
Our Eastern's Automotive Group player profile, Gilbert Arenas, in his first year with the Wizards after they signed him as a free agent this summer on August 8th. 22 years old, from Los Angeles, went to Grant High School in Van Nuys, California, and he had those 8 three-pointers against the Lakers, which tied the Wizards franchise record. He's got 2 of them here tonight.
And look at his numbers in the last 5 games, 55% from three-point range. He has so much strength.
Points per game in the month, 29. And in the last 5 games, he averages 30.2, but he's got 3 personals. Jarvis Hayes way off. Tied at 39, Steve Buckhantz and Phil Chenier. And the Nuggets have a 3-point lead, and that's their largest. Correction, 4 is their largest of the night. We're up 27-23 in the third. 10 to shoot. Mitchell Butler in the game, and the Wizards have 4 seconds to shoot. Hey, Wizards fans, group tickets are great for family, friends, or company outings, and if you gather a group of 15 or more for a Wizards game, You'll get $5 off each ticket. For information, call a Wizards sales rep, 202-661-5050.
Steve, I think the Wizards lost a second or two. They were a little slow in stopping that clock. I saw the official look at the timetable, scores table.
Kwame's called for traveling, another Washington turnover. Their 8th of the half.
Go now.
13 points for Carmelo Anthony, Towson Catholic High School, and on to Oak Hill Academy. Kwame on the fadeaway, short, and another Denver rebound. And Eddie Jordan will need timeout. 7-point lead, the largest of the game for Denver. They are on an 11-0 run, and with 43 seconds to go in the half, they are up 46-39. Earlier, we asked you our Passport BMW trivia question. Carmelo, the second Denver Nugget to be named NBA Rookie of the Month. So I guess you could look at this a number of ways.
Well, it can't be this year because Carmelo's won it all 4 months, right?
All right, so
it has to be another
year. Kiki Vanderway, I don't know. Well, I guess it's possible. What's the answer,
Mutombo.
Mr. Director?
Yeah,
it can be Mutombo. How about that? November 91, January 92. I was misled by the question, but that's okay. Mentioned Carmelo from Towson Catholic High School, also attending that high school, Gene Shue. NBA referee Sean Corbin.
Gene Shue was my first coach coming into the league with the Bullets.
Madeline Evans. That's Paul Evans' mother.
Okay.
Our statistician, just in case you're wondering.
I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Madeline, so Miss Evans, I should say.
Mitchell Butler and the Wizards have gone ice cold, and Denver has taken control by 7. Two-second difference between the game and shot clocks. Miller with 1 second. That's good if it goes, and that is the end. Well, now 1.6 seconds remain and a 24-second violation. We understand that Jarvis Hayes has strained his left hamstring, and his return is questionable. One thing this Wizards team doesn't need is another injury. Stackhouse and Hughes remain out. Denver ends the half on an 11-0 run despite a terrific performance from Gilbert Arenas, but Wizards once again out-rebounded in this game, and they trail at the break 46-39. Halftime in Washington. We send you back to our Comcast Sportsnet studios in Bethesda and join our colleague Scott Hansen. Sights and sounds of the first half as Denver leads the Wizards 46-39. We are set to start third quarter action. Carmelo Anthony 13 points in the half. Vashawn Leonard went 6 of 10. He had 15 to lead all scores. Statistics in the first half. You see the shooting and the rebounding that we talked about. And Denver with 10 points. off 9 Washington turnovers.
Yeah, and the fast break points, 7, not that abnormal, especially for this team. They average 20 a game, and they had 31 in their meeting back in Denver. But still, you don't want to see this team get off.
Denver ended the half on an 11-0 run. 9 of those points after Gilbert Arenas picked up his 3rd foul and had to leave the game. Arenas starts the 3rd quarter with Jared Jeffries, Juan Dixon, Brendan Haywood, and Kwame Brown. Offensive foul. Brendan Haywood went down hard to pick up the charge.
Boy, you know, I don't like to see usually big men take the charge, but in that situation, that was a good movement. He comes over to help. Now he comes back to take away that driving lane. You see, Camby had a running start, so that was a good move. But I like to see centers mix it up, sometimes go for the block, sometimes fool them, and just take the charge.
Wizards led by 6 in the first half, but trail by 7. Arenas with 6 to shoot. Pops the long jumper, which is an air ball. Wizards trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Denver's lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, I kind of have the feeling they're going to try and see if they can pick up that 4th foul on Gilbert Arenas. The last 2 possessions, they've gone to Andre Miller, who's being guarded by Gilbert. He doubled him.
I think,
No?
well, it looked like he did, but I think James Capers called a foul inside on Nene. Very quickly, Eddie Jordan brings Mitchell Butler into the game, so Eddie not pleased with the play of Jarvis Hayes, apparently, or rather Jared Jeffries, and Jared wincing on the bench. I'm not sure if he's injured, but we know Jarvis Hayes pulled a hamstring, and his return is questionable. Haywood inside, tough fadeaway jumper, no good. Nene is there. Seven to shoot. Carmelo with 13 points gets 2 more. Carmelo Anthony went to Oak Hill Academy down in Mouth of Wilson, Virginia. Led them to a 32-1 record in the 2001-2002 season. Number 3 overall ranking by USA Today.
So a nice curl into the middle and finishing with the left hand.
Juan Dixon gets a couple more. He's got 8 points. Camby's jumper. Dixon, another long shot, missed everything. Kwame loses it off his foot, and the Wizards give it back to the Nuggets. Check of our Verizon League standings. NBA defensive ranks.
See, they force a lot of turnovers, second in the league. Also good on the block shot department, and we said already they're number 3 in steals.
Time to Sean Leonard, who went 6 of 10 in the first half, now has 17 points. And the lead back to 9, matching their largest of the game. Steve Buckhantz and Phil Chenier. Wizards will be in Orlando tomorrow night, then Atlanta, and then back here against Boston Saturday night. Arenas blocked from behind, and James Capers calls a foul. While we have a moment, we'd like to wish a speedy recovery to Bo Nielsen, who works for the Wizards customer service department. Bo is in the hospital, recovering from an illness, and the Wizards staff, and of course all of us here at Comcast Sportsnet, wish a speedy recovery to Bo. Camby picked up his 4th personal as Mitchell Butler misses the free throw. And Francisco Elson comes in for Marcus Camby. Camby in his 8th year now in the league from UMass. And Mitchell makes 1 of 2. 8-point Denver lead. Nuggets have lost 8 of 9. Their only win against the Knicks at the end of February in New York. Coming off a loss to the Pacers Sunday. And they now have their largest lead of 10. Andre Miller, in his 5th year from Utah, averages over 15 points, and he's 12th in the league in assists. That's 6.1 per game. He's got 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists, and a foul called inside. And it's on Miller.
I'm sure Gilbert's realizing that he had an excellent chance to get a three-point play. He could have made that shot, even though he got fouled. Does a reverse, but he got that shot off just before, and I don't know if he put too much English on it, but just didn't get the right bounce off the glass.
Gilbert made both of his free throws in the first half. Last time these teams played, Arenas was in the game for 39 minutes and scored 27 points. He was 8 of 16, hit 3 3-pointers, 8 of 10 from the free throw line, had 5 rebounds and 3 assists, so quite a line for Gilbert in that game, and makes 1 of 2 from the line.
That's how well Carmelo handles the ball and bringing it up. Great to have an additional ball handler.
At 6'8", very smooth. That guy's not bad either. Deshaun Leonard, 9th year from Minnesota. Denver has its largest lead of 11. 19 points for Leonard, who tied his career high of 38 this year at Golden State. Dixon's jumper scored the field goal, and Juan will go to the line.
Good two-man game between Juan and Kwame, both giving up the ball a couple of times. Eventually, it's Juan or Kwame setting the pick after giving it off. Deshaun Leonard tries to fight through it and still challenge the shot. Watch him go slide behind Kwame and then reach for the ball, gets him on the arm. Nice shot from Juan Dixon.
Completes the three-point play as we get a look at 2 of the greatest players to come out of Baltimore, Maryland. Juan graduated in '97 from Calvert Hall High School, 2-time All-Met by the Baltimore Sun, all Baltimore County first team, all Catholic League first team.
Well, Andre Miller really starting to pick it up. Only had 4 points, but he did have 6 assists in the first half with no turnovers. But becoming a little bit more offensive-minded this quarter.
Butler's long jumper, no good. Tipped away by Haywood to Kwame. Back to Butler to Juan. Inside, hanging jumper, and he'll go back to the line.
Boy, great body control because he kept both hands on the ball but twisted his body around and protected it from the defender, Elson. Watch him get up in the air, twist his body around, protect it from the defender, draws the contact, and had a chance to get the shot to go down.
First free throw is good. Elson picked up his 4th foul, so he comes out. Anderson in. Juan Dixon, the first player from Calvert Hall to go to an ACC school since Dwayne Farrell went to Georgia Tech back in 1985. Of course, Dwayne Farrell, the Wizards' director of team player programs. Juan makes them both. There's Dwayne Farrell, the former NBA star and Georgia Tech grad. 13 points for Juan Dixon. Nene inside, score it. He's fouled by Kwame Brown.
Well, let's see what happens here. They're rotating their defense, and Kwame just a little late in getting over. Nene has a lane to the basket. Watch him curl in, uses the left hand, uses that right side to kind of shield off the defender, make sure he gets the contact, and Kwame picks up his 3rd personal.
His full name, Maynard Nene Rodney Hilario. From Brazil, now in his 2nd year.
Kwame a little bit too far away. Well, good job. Who was that? Juan Dixon drawing the charge. But once again, on that last play, a really good entry pass from Juan Dixon, leading Kwame to the open area. And then on defense, right here, takes the charge, gets good position on Carmelo.
Nuggets by 11. Inside, nice pass again, and this time Kwame makes certain to get the slam.
The last time he really had to reach for the basket. It was a tough dunk. I like him being aggressive that way, but just wasn't able to get it to stay down.
Miller, nice pass inside, and returning the favorite, Nene. Well, Jared Jeffries was shaken up a bit. That's why he got limited time when he started the third quarter. His right knee is bothering him, and he is questionable for a return. Meantime, Denver has missed just one shot in the quarter in 8 attempts. Dixon baseline no good, and Anderson is there. Anthony pulls up and hits, and the torrid shooting by the Nuggets continues. They now have their largest lead of 13 points, and Gilbert Arenas calls time. Nuggets have hit 8 of 9 field goals in the quarter. That's 89%. And with 5:41 to go in the third, they are in control of this game with their largest margin. 13-point lead, 63-50. Time for our VW flashback, which takes us back to the late 80s when Kiki Vandeweghe was a member of the Portland Trailblazers. Spent his first 5 seasons in Denver. Total of 13 years in the league, now in his 3rd year as general manager of the Nuggets, a 2-time All-Star, and he's done a nice job in Denver. Of course, helped out by the addition of Carmelo Anthony. Speaking of Anthony, with him, they're plus 17, without him -4. He started the game 0 for 6, 8 of 12 since then. Dixon can't get it to fall. 17 points in the game for Carmelo Anthony, who averages 20.3. That's 16th in the league. 6.2 rebounds, 2.7 assists. Leonard underneath, follow no good, and a foul called on Mitchell Butler, so they'll give Carmelo 2 shots.
Boy, that seems like a difficult way to pick up a foul. It looked to me like Mitchell had the inside track, Carmelo coming over the back. Let's take a second look.
Yeah, that's a tough call there.
Yeah. I think the fact that Mitchell was turning more so facing Carmelo, reaching for the ball, may have been what drew the ref's attention, but 9 times out of 10, you usually see that call on the offensive player.
Gets them both. He was the 2nd youngest player in NBA history to score 30 points in a game. When he hit for 30 against the Clippers, he was 19 years, 151 days old. Only Kobe achieved that feat sooner, scoring 30 against Dallas at 19 years, 113 days old. And Anthony did it in just his 6th professional game. Kwame, 1 second to shoot, and that is a 24-second violation and a Washington turnover. Hey fans, individual tickets to all Wizards March and April home games are on sale. Come see Kwame, Gilbert, your favorite Wizards, as they take on Chris Webber with the Kings, Jason Kidd with the Nets. Get your tickets now, 202-432-SEAT, or online at WashingtonWizards.com. Sean Leonard lays it in. And the Nuggets lead by 17. Arenas is fouled by Anderson. He'll shoot 2. Etan Thomas off the Washington bench to check in. Gilbert back to the line to shoot 2. Gets the first, played 2 years at Arizona. In fact, his college teammate is Richard Jefferson. And as we've told you so many times, he wears the number 0 because that was the number of minutes his detractors said he would get in college. And he has managed to prove everyone wrong.
Well, he's certainly been getting a lot of minutes lately, averaging over 45 minutes a game. Of course, he had that one game where he played the whole game, overtime game, 53 minutes.
That was his career high. And not far from the the franchise record of this team. There's a foul by Juan Dixon, which you hold of 59 minutes in a triple overtime game in Philadelphia.
59 minutes. I must have been delirious because I can't remember it.
Leonard is just absolutely smoking. 23 points for Vachon, and we told you his season. In fact, tying his career high 38 at Golden State. Dixon's baseline jumper no good. Kwame following out there. Vachon Leonard 10 of 15 in this game, and here he is again for 3. Arenas throws it off Anthony in a heads-up play. Last year, this Denver team averaged a league high 18.5 turnovers. This year, they're at 16 turnovers per game. That's 21st in the league. And as we mentioned, the Wizards are 29th out of 29 teams, 17.4. Nene fouled by Mitchell Butler. He'll go to the line as Denver enjoys their largest lead on a 10-1 run.
Now, do they just refer to him as Nene now, or do they still sometimes refer to him as Hilaria?
Well, no, officially they refer to him just by his first name, which, and you can see the accent on the end of his name, so it's officially it's Nene. See that little?
Can't see it from here, but I'll take your word for it.
There's Jared Jeffries as they work on his sore right knee.
And is Jarvis out too?
Yes, he is, as he pulled hamstring.
Larry Hughes and Stackhouse are out.
We know that. They're in street clothes. I'm sure they're not playing. Although Larry, as we said, was out shooting jumpers before the game and had the hard cast removed from his wrist. And will hopefully be able to rejoin the team in a few weeks. Dixon's jumper, no good. The Wizards are woeful from the field right now. Nene, and he scores, and he'll go to the line.
And that's something I talked about in terms of the keys when you're talking about fast break teams. You want to have the court balance so that you always have one and possibly 2 players back. That wasn't the case. The long pass from Carmelo leading Nene to the basket, and they have a chance for a 3-point play, and that's the 4th personal foul on Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert has 15 points in the game. And Nene converts the 3-point play. Denver on a 14-1 run in the last 3.5 minutes to take charge of this game. Nene with 11 at his career high of 25 this year against Utah. Thomas inside, he gets fouled. 2 shots coming for Raton Thomas. Timeout with 2:48 to go in a quarter that has been all Nuggets here in Washington. They lead at 73-51. Raton Thomas shoots a pair of free throws as the Wizards are down 73-51 in a quarter that has been all Nuggets. In the third quarter, the Nuggets have shot 79%, 11 of 14. The Wizards are 19%. They have hit on 3 of 16 shots. Jared Jeffries with team doctor Stephen Haas exiting the floor right now, and he's got a sore right knee. We'll try to get an update on his condition.
Which knee did he injure last year? Was that the right or the left?
Check on that, Phil, to make sure, because this was his right knee, correct?
Don't mean to bring up bad memories.
It is the same knee. Last year, his right knee, which he hurt in practice in December and had the surgery to repair a torn anterior cruciate ligament. Kwame saves it to Juan Dixon for the open jumper. Good.
Well, Washington, one good thing is they have 6 offense, make that 7 offensive rebounds this quarter. Of course, I guess that's not so good because that means you're missing a lot of shots.
Yeah, well, the Wizards had missed 6 shots in the quarter until Dixon hit that one.
6 straight shots.
Right, correct. And they've made 4 total field goals in the period. Boykins off balance, throws it up. Wizards ball. Last season, these teams split a couple of games. Wizards won the first one here and then lost out in Denver, 88-72. This year, Denver winning earlier in the season on November 21st, 108-87. Thomas lays it to Kwame inside. He gets fouled, and he scores.
That's what I'm talking about, going to the basket hard. Watch Kwame put his head down, split the 2 defenders. He sees the opening, gets through there. He's able to put enough on the ball, kiss it off the glass.
Kwame completes the 3-point play, has 13 points in the game tonight and 10 rebounds, so a double-double for Kwame Brown.
I believe that's his 10th on the year.
Earl Boykins. Dixon the rebound. Juan loses it, turns it over. 13th Washington turnover of the night. Carmelo's fouled by Butler as he goes up. Mitchell didn't like the call, but they'll give Anthony 2 shots.
Watch Carmelo. He likes to try and back his defender off by giving you that jab step, the wide step. That's what he's trying to do, but Mitchell Butler's not backing off. In fact, getting a little tighter on him.
So Carmelo, the 3rd pick in the draft, goes to the line. This is his 65th game played, and he started all 65. Makes one rather. Has 20 points. Arenas trying to draw a foul. Rebound to Michael Doliak, newly acquired. Earl the Pearl Boykins. Not to be confused with Earl the Pearl Monroe. I just think that anybody named Earl that plays basketball is going to be the Pearl. Just by name association.
Not necessarily.
Doesn't mean they're going to play like the Pearl, but you got to call them the Pearl. How many guys named Earl do you know that play basketball?
I don't know any, but I wouldn't call him Earl the Pearl.
Earl Curidan. I wouldn't call Earl Curidan the Pearl.
His name is Earl.
Todd Thomas scores. 3 points for Atan. Wizards in Orlando tomorrow night. 3 seconds to go in the quarter. Anthony lays it up. No call. As Lonnie Baxter looked to take a charge, but no whistle. Vashawn Leonard has been a big factor in this game here tonight, has 23 points. Denver outscored Washington 32-20 in the period. And after 3, they are in control. It's the Nuggets 78 and the Wizards 59. Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball being brought to you tonight by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Geico, where a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your Washington area Volkswagen dealers, proud sponsors of the Washington Wizards. 4th quarter underway. Gilbert Arenas draws a foul. Through 3 quarters of play, Washington down to 36% from the field, out-rebounded by 10. And 13 turnovers for the Wizards.
Yeah, you go back to that quarter, the Nuggets 13 for 22, 59%. Washington 6 for 21, close to 29%. So that was certainly the big part of that quarter and the way it turned around. And as you mentioned already, outscored 32-20.
And the field goal shooting has come down each quarter for the Wizards. They shot 47% in the first. Dixon's jumper no good. Arenas has it. Shot 33% in the second and 29% in the third. Fade away by Arenas. Thomas hit it out, and it goes to Denver. 14,924 in the house tonight as the Wizards look to snap a two-game losing streak. Washington's home record 14-18, and overall 20-41. This time last year, they had won 10 more games. They were at 30-31.
Denver running an isolated pick and roll on the other side, and that leaves Anderson an opening towards the basket. It quickly closes down, but not before Thomas commits the foul.
Anderson to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Hey fans, with Hot 5 you can play and win 25-7. That's $25,000 7 days a week. Be a part of the DC Lottery's winning lineup and play Hot 5 today. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, our Comcast Sportsnet crew, producer Chris Grain, director Doug Ulacki, and our graphic illustrator Matt Mastracci. Arenas drives and has it knocked out of bounds. Wizards ball. Gilbert playing with 4 personals. He has only fouled out of 1 game this year. That was against Philadelphia back in November. Game where he had 36 points. Dixon off a screen. And Lonnie Baxter couldn't control it.
Well, Juan a little upset with himself. He's had several open looks and has not been able to get the shot down.
Carmelo Anthony getting a rest. With
Another
20
foul
points in the game.
Another foul on the jump shot. Deshaun Leonard raising up and kind of fading away. But it's Gilbert Arenas picking up his 5th foul. Gets him on the elbow. Watch here. Deshaun raises up right there.
So Steve Blake set to check in. No doubt will come in for Arenas. Deshaun Leonard makes the free throw. Marcus Camby will also come back into the game. Carmelo tonight, 33 minutes of play with 20 points. The first 3 picks in the draft, LeBron James, Darko Milicic, and then Carmelo Anthony. And Leonard makes them both. Blocking foul is called on Camby.
You know, I think Marcus had good position, but watch him kind of turn his body as he sees Gilbert coming. Breaks down White there. And there you see him turn that right shoulder towards Gilbert.
Lonnie turns and shoots and scores over Doliak. 4 points for Lonnie Baxter. 81-62 Denver. Baseline shot by Rodney White in his 3rd year from Charlotte, the 9th overall pick by Detroit in 2001. Gilbert Arenas with his 3rd three-pointer of the game. He's got 20 points tonight. And right about at his average. Offensive foul on Rodney White. And Nene will come back into the game for Doliak. A forced three-pointer from Mr. Arenas.
Yeah, he's been shooting that shot quite well over the last 5 or 6 games, well over 50%.
Gilbert again. Got another one. 23 points in the game for Gilbert Arenas. And Jeff Bezdelik takes the time. 4 3-pointers tonight for Gilbert. Gets the fans up off their feet. Let's see if he can get the Wizards back in this game. Washington has outscored Denver 9-4 in the quarter. Well, Phil, there's a look at the Crown Royal Suite, which is a perfect place to entertain your business clients, family, or friend, located on the Acela Club level. Can accommodate up to 99 guests. Great for single event rental for all MCI Center events. I got a chance to watch the game Sunday in the Crown Royal Suite. We were there for an event called Hoops for Africa, which was to raise awareness for AIDS in Africa, and attended by lots of dignitaries. And it really is a neat venue to watch a game from. And if you're interested, you can call 202-661-5110 or visit WashingtonWizards.com. Lonnie Baxter for his fellow Maryland alum Steve Blake. Blake gets the rebound, goes underneath. Thomas picks up the pass. Couldn't quite get an angle on it. Nene fires and scores off the glass. Nene, who is 6'11", but he's got a wingspan of 7'4" and 3/4 inches. Normally, a person's wingspan is very close to a person's height, but he's got some long arms and is a wide body.
Is that a scientific?
Yes, it is scientific. I checked it.
I didn't know if that was something you were just kind of making up.
I checked it because I knew you'd question me. I had to check it. Phil, the time is now for incredible savings and low financing at Leesburg, Honda, and Toyota, which is easy to find on Route 7 at Cardinal Park Drive in Leesburg. Well, the injury situation has mounted here for Washington tonight. Not only are Jerry and Larry out of the game, but
let's see you come up with something here.
Jarvis Hayes has had his right knee worked on, and or rather, Jared Jeffries has had the right knee worked on, and Jarvis Hayes, you can see he's got looks like one of those TENS units, which is an electronic pulsing
machine. Yeah,
and Kwame Brown has his foot wrapped. Thomas inside, score the field goal, and he's fouled by Vashawn Leonard. So Jared Jeffries with a knee, Kwame Brown with a foot or an ankle, and Jarvis Hayes with a hamstring.
Yeah, those three came up hurt in this game. In fact, we remember seeing Kwame in the first half. It went down kind of awkwardly. Nice feed and delivery there from Thomas. But he got up and seemed like he was walking it off.
Wizards struggling from the free throw line, 16 of 25. That's just 64%. Nene is fouled by Lonnie. 2 shots coming for Nene. Jeff Bezdelik, very familiar face around here. He began coaching down at Davidson College in North Carolina in 1980. Of course, the same place that Lefty Driesell began his coaching career. You know, he has that young look to him, Phil, but he's been in coaching for 26 years. This is his 14th year in the NBA.
Yeah, you mentioned also head coaching position over at UMBC before he came with the Bullets. And I believe Wes was having his basketball camp there, and that's how the two of them kind of got hooked up and eventually came on with the Bullets. And the difference a year can make. This year in the 8th spot in the playoffs. Last year, they were in last.
17 and 65 last year. They are on their way to their 34th win of this season, 33 and 31 currently. Arenas tipped out of bounds, and it's Denver ball. And we are told that nothing serious wrong with Kwame Brown, just getting some ice on an ankle. So hopefully he does not have any kind of a serious injury. You know, you mentioned Wes Unseld's camp. I participated in his camp one year when it was at the Naval Academy. and he nearly killed me. But it was fun.
How, you participated in it how?
Yeah, slam dunk instructor.
Okay, you were as an instructor, not a camper.
No, I was as a camper. He was when I was over at Channel 5. We went over there to show the folks what his camp was like. Arenas, nice pass for Atan, but he can't handle it. And the Wizards come up with their 14th turnover of the game.
Tom might have been thinking about the 2 points he was going to get off that nice pass from Gilbert Arenas before he actually received it. Oh.
Alley-oop to Rodney White. Or correction.
That was to Carmelo.
Carmelo Anthony back in the game. Thomas will draw 2. I saw the number 5 and didn't realize Carmelo had slipped back in. He's got 24 points in the game.
Well, Boykins makes a nice delivery. You know, Juan Dixon trying to front Carmelo, trying to keep the ball from going in on a post position, so that makes him vulnerable to that kind of play where Carmelo just spins, goes to the basket, and you get the lob. What would help that if Blake had put a lot of pressure on Boykins and made the delivery of that pass quite difficult.
Earlier this year, Carmelo had his season high of 7 assists against the Wizards. He's done it twice this year, but one of them was against Washington. Carmelo has 6 assists in this game, 6 rebounds, and 24 points. He started slowly. In fact, he was 0 for 6, and he's 9 of 14 since then.
Well, that's the beauty of being a marquee player. You know that even though you miss your first 6, you'll get 6 more, and maybe you'll make those 6, but it's not as if you're going to stop shooting the ball.
Dixon open on the baseline. Nice job by Arenas to get it to him, and Juan makes the jumper. 17 points for Juan Dixon. Denver by 20. Boykins to add insult to injury. All 5'5" of them. Kick ball. The shot clock will remain at 17. Brendan Haywood into the Washington lineup. And now Kwame will come back in. So again, nothing wrong with Kwame. Just getting some treatment on the foot. We did see him limping around earlier in the game.
We did.
And now Rodney White does come back into the lineup with Anthony and Boykins, Nene and Camby.
Sean Leonard sitting down. He has 27 tonight on the year. The average is 15.
Double team on Dixon. Haywood got fouled by Camby, and Brendan will shoot 2. Marcus Camby, who I mentioned earlier, has never played more than 63 games in a season. He played in 29 in each of the last 2 seasons, had hip surgery last year.
Now, I bet you there's a guy who has as a personal goal to play 82 games. Maybe he wants to take it in baby steps and say, maybe I can get to 80 games this year.
Well, he's played in 57 this year.
Well, he won't get to 82 then.
We can be pretty certain of that. Unless they go on a torrid run through the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes, he could. It would be all 82, though. Pass inside, picked off by Carmelo. Tight ropes by Kwame. Rodney White's jumper. Had it knocked away by Camby from behind, and Nene has it.
Ooh, he dragged that foot.
Earl Boykins with his second 3-point jumper. And Eddie Jordan wants time. Not real pretty here tonight for the Wizards as they getting beat 101-74. 5:40. Our four-game summary tonight.
Well, you can see the big difference coming in that second half, outscored by 20, and Denver shooting 64% since the half, since the beginning of the third quarter. Out rebounding Washington, and also Carmelo Anthony kind of started off the same way the team did, 0 for 6, but since then has been on a tear.
Nicholas Skidishvili, his second year from the Republic of Georgia, getting his first action tonight, playing in his 34th game this season. Wizards throw the ball away and commit a turnover. And on Washington, that's number 18 in the game. Wizards were leading Denver 6-0 in fast break points in the first quarter, but since then they've been outscored 13-0. And Lonnie Baxter fouls Skidishvili. Go ahead and say that. It's fun to say. Just say it. I know you'll like it. It'll make you feel better.
I just said it.
Say it again.
I said it to myself.
Well, say it out loud.
Skidishvili.
Doesn't that make you feel better?
No, not really.
It doesn't?
No, it doesn't do a thing for me.
Okay. Just trying to come up with something here.
Come up with something different there.
Well, let's see. Let me look at my notes here. That speaks a ton of languages.
All that stuff you got in there.
Italian, Serbian, Russian.
Having me say Skidishvili.
Learned English in 5 months while he was in Slovenia, where he played a couple of seasons. Steve Blake, top of the key jumper, little strong. Tipped out, and the Wizards will get it back. Here's Brendan Haywood. Off the glass and in. He likes to use that glass. You know,
earlier I saw him make a move where he was forced to go to his left, so now he's going to have to develop a few moves going to the left, using that left hand, but he certainly has gotten comfortable, and I think he has to understand he has the formula now for developing new shots, the techniques, the practice, the timing that takes to go into getting comfortable with shooting a new shot.
Dixon from 15, good. 19 points in the game for Juan, whose career high is 30 against Portland this year. Michael Doliak. Boy, everybody's hitting on this team. It's his first basket of the game. Blake for Baxter, off the glass and in. Blake, Baxter, and Dixon, 3 Maryland alum in the game, with a Carolina star and one from UCLA. Haywood and Butler. Earl Boykins, 2-point field goal for Earl. He's having a nice game. 12 points for Boykins, whose season high 27 against Orlando. That's where the Wizards will be tomorrow night. And then in Atlanta Friday night before returning to face Paul Pierce and the Celtics here on Saturday. It's a good matchup against Boston. 3 minutes to go in regulation, and Nuggets have this one in hand, 111-80 as Skidishvili called for traveling. Timeout, 2:57 to go, 111-80 in favor of Denver. Redskins linebacker LeVar Arrington in the house. Boy, the Nuggets in the second half are 24 of 35, 69%. And in this quarter, Phil, what, 11 of 13?
Only missed 2 shots. 7 for 9. 11 for 13, though. They were 7 for 9, and then they were 11 for 13.
Right. Lonnie Baxter makes the free throw. Here's another fun fact about our friend Dick Bavetta, 29 years in the NBA.
Yeah, pull some of those out.
He is the upstate New York regional director for the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation, who you and I do a lot of charity work with in the off-season.
Yep.
And he's got a scholarship, in fact, in honor of his daughters, Christine and Michelle. Since 1986, he's financed that. Juan's jumper a little bit short. Speaking of a little bit short, here comes Earl Boykins. Barry back to Skittish Feely, who lays it in.
This is working out well for Jeff Misdeli because they have, this is the first of 3 games in 4 nights. They go on to New Jersey tomorrow night, have a day off, and finish up in Milwaukee before they head back to Denver. So he's able to get to his starters some rest. Oh, there.
Brandon Haywood.
He turned to his left that time instead of coming back to his right.
10 points in the game for Haywood. 1:33 to go. Denver's high game this season, 117 points. Skittish Feely misses. Rodney White is there. Off the glass and in. So they are 2 points away from matching their season high of 117. Butler draws a foul, and Mitchell will go to the line. Butler to shoot 2. Our smoking stops here player of the game, Carmelo Anthony, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Carmelo's season high 39 against Portland back in early February.
There's that 7 assists again, though. You said that was the season high that he had against Washington back in November.
Right, so he matches that. You do occasionally listen, Phil. Happy about that. Earl Boykins tries to get around Blake. Lays it off underneath for the big slam by Rodney White. For all of you youngsters who think that being just 5.5 feet tall is not tall enough, plenty of players in the league like this guy that have proved people wrong. Earl Boykins, Muggsy Bogues, and Earl is Spud Webb, right? Yep. Earl's a lot less bulkier than Muggsy Bogues, that's for sure. Lonnie Baxter gets the rebound. Lonnie can handle the ball, goes all the way and lays it in. Pretty play from the former Maryland star.
Did a good job looking off Doliak and kind of frozen.
And that will be the final play of the game. Tough night for the Wizards, who fall to 20-42 on the year. Suffer their 3rd consecutive loss. 14-19 now at home, as Denver improves to 34-31 and 12-19 on the road. Subway play of the game. Plays of the game. There's Carmelo getting free for a slam.
Well, here's that lob.
Beauty.
31.
26 points for Carmelo, who started 0 for 6. Finished hitting 10 of 15, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. And Denver wins it tonight, 117-87. Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball has been brought to you tonight by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Jim Coleman's Montgomery Mall Toyota. Remember, nobody beats a Jim Coleman deal. Sun Microsystems. CarBiz, buy direct from a licensed auto broker. Maryland, smoking stops here. And Toyota, more choices, better choices. Get the feeling, Toyota. Wizards basketball has been a presentation of Washington Sports and Entertainment, Comcast Sportsnet, and the NBA. Stay tuned. Select Auto Imports Wizards postgame live is next. For Phil Chenier, this is Steve Buckhantz. We'll see you in the postgame show. Denver wins it 117-87. Have a safe evening, everyone.